What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my channel. My name is James. This is Home Remedy Fitness. We got a good one in the books today for us. And by good, I mean very bad. It's going to be a 35-minute cap, 500 plus rep workout. So we're going to be hitting all the movement patterns. We got squats, we got some hip patterns, pulling, pushing, some metabolic, a lot of cardio involved. On the bright side, it's going to be all at your own pace. So you got 35 minutes to wrap up all these reps. Take whatever time you need in between the sets. We're just going to keep it rocking and rolling. So what we're looking at today, it's going to be 5 sets of each of these exercises. So we're going to be doing 20 squats, 20 swings, 10 overhead presses, 10 rows, 5 offset kettlebell push-ups, 10 around the worlds, and then 3 burpees to cap off the set. So getting through that as quickly as you can, take whatever time you need. It's a spicy one. If you have any questions as far as the movements, have no fear. You go ahead, jump to the back. I'll have videos dissecting everything so we're all on the same page. If you are comfortable with the exercises, let's let this play out. Let's keep it rolling. We'll hop right into it. Let's have a good one today, all right? So set your intent for this workout, what you want to get out of the next 35 minutes. Let's get better today, all right? We'll see you on the other side.
inside the rabbit hole. Set me free from your hole. Somebody please keep me from twisting, keep me from twisting, keep me
can see the light of day, but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away. Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it'll cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering how the world keeps on spinning, kinda scared of living when it unfolds. Hard to see the light when everything is dying, waiting for the clear. Thankful I'm alive, but terrified of dying. But hey, I'm still here. Is it that sometimes I like it when I lose control? There's something in it that's so beautiful. Listen, I can see the light of day, but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away.
I'll finish within that 35-minute period. I think I squeaked out just beforehand, so if you didn't make it this time, you go ahead, you come back next week, I'm sure you can get it. We got knee patterns, hip patterns, pulling, pressing, metabolic, anti-rotation with the around the worlds. I like that little gunslinger variation, getting the biceps involved. Yeah, definitely a tough one. Hopefully you all kept your pace. Kind of hard to not come out of the gate swinging then. By round 2 you're gassed. I think I might have misjudged it because round 4 I was I was dying. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Hopefully y'all made it to the end. Proud of you guys for sticking with me. We're almost at 600 subscribers, so if y'all can help get me there, that would be awesome. Recommend this out to one of your friends. I'm trying to keep this channel as catered to you as I can. So if there's anything that you like, please let me know if you like it. If there's anything that you absolutely dislike, or if there's something you want me to include in the next video, drop that comment. You let me know there too. Keep this thing rocking. I'll see y'all next week. Yeah, again, appreciate the support. I'll see y'all around. Bye-bye. Taking apart a very fundamental lower body movement, we're checking out a kettlebell goblet squat. So with this one right here, we want to have our feet about shoulder width apart. Let's grab that kettlebell up by the horns. You can almost rest the top of the bell underneath your chin. So what we're looking for here, we want our shoulders packed down, shoulder blades retracted, chest up high, and we're going to begin our descent. So as we go down, let's try and drive our knees outwards. Let's try and drive our body weight to the blades of our feet, keeping the weight in our heels, having our chest and our hips descend at the same time. So as we go down, let's reach that terminal point, go down as low as we can, ATG if you will. So try and have your cheeks touch your calves. That's an ideal squat pattern right there. When we begin our ascent, same idea. We want our chest, we want our hips rising at the same time. We don't want to do a kang squat, don't want to do a good morning. So everything driving up at the same time, chest up high, driving hard into the heels, and just squatting up. Very fundamental, very basic, but it's integral to any type of programming when it comes to kettlebells. So this is a kettlebell goblet squat. Looking at another fundamental kettlebell pattern, this is a kettlebell swing. So let's set up, we're gonna be a little bit behind our kettlebell. So we wanna use that momentum for the initial swing. Soft bend in the knees, about shoulder width apart. Let's set up, 4, 5, 6 inches away from that kettlebell. Grabbing it by the top of those horns, good hinge pattern. So the hips are gonna go back, we're gonna drag that kettlebell, get that initial swing, almost smack our backside. And then as we begin the forward momentum, really try and drive hard into those heels, extend our hips forward, really squeeze those glutes, keeping our shoulders pinned down, and we're extending forward. So I kind of promote the idea of T-Rex arms. So we don't want to be doing a shoulder raise as you lift up that kettlebell. So if you're getting shruggy, and we're getting those arms out ahead of us, that's a red light there for you if you're using too much shoulder activation, using too much upper body. A lot of the force is going to be generating through your hips. When it gets up to that high point, you don't need to lift up your arms at all. When it gets up to that point, gravity's going to do the rest. Let it hinge backwards, almost like a pendulum. Back into that hinge pattern, hips go back, soft bend in the knees. And then when it gets all the way back there, same idea. Extend forward, squeeze your glutes, get up to that high point. It's going to be a kettlebell swing. Let's check out a pressing movement, shall we? So this is a single arm overhead press. Unilateral movement right here. We're gonna have the kettlebell up in a front rack position. If you're not familiar with the front rack position, forearm as vertical as we can, driving the elbow forward, just creating a really nice shelf here to begin the movement. When we do begin the movement, we want to have our wrists locked in place. We don't want it flailing out. We don't want to immediately begin the press by going to the outside. That's not gonna be conducive to generating force. As it gets heavier, you want it nice and close to the body, going straight up, straight down. With a strict press, we want no momentum going from the ground. With this one, push press, overhead press, we can use a little bit of momentum so we can dip down just a little bit. Feet are going to be shoulder width apart, slight bend in the knees. We're going to have just a couple inches as far as the descent. And then when we stand up tall, we're going to use that momentum, drive hard through our elbow, try and get that kettlebell up as vertical as we can. So just driving straight up. As we press, we can rotate out just a little bit, create a little bit of space in that shoulder capsule, and just driving up overhead. When it is at that highest position, we don't want our ribs flaring out. We want to keep our ribs packed down. Squeeze our core, squeeze the glutes, straight line going from our head to our heels. So we don't want the kettlebell getting away from us. We don't want it going too far back, and now we're kind of in a compromised position. Make sure everything's nice and compact. Exhale on the way up, brace that core, brace that spine, and then as we descend, you can almost give a little give as well. So if you're familiar with like the egg toss, distance gets wider, we want to give into that egg, right? The same idea with the kettlebell. As we catch it, you can use that bounce, springboard right back up for the next rep. So this is a single arm overhead press. Fundamental upper body rowing pattern. This is just a single arm bent over row. So if we are familiar with our hinge patterning, shoulder width apart, slight bend in the knees, bring our hips backwards, stack ourselves over that kettlebell. It's going to be right in between our big toes. Grabbing it by the horns, and we're just bringing that kettlebell into our back pocket. Things to look for right here being that we are unilaterally loaded. We may favor into that side and shift our hips, shift our shoulders. Be mindful of that. Use our core. We got headlights on our shoulders, headlights on our hips. Those are going to be facing the ground, lighten up the wall ahead of us. We don't want to rotate too much, so use that core, maintain that nice neutral alignment. And then when we row, we want to keep our shoulder pinned down as much as we can, engage that lat, squeeze. We don't want to get up here, get too much trap activation. So really drive hard to that elbow, back pocket, give it a 1 count up at the top, really squeeze that lat, and then we're going to descend, let it touch the ground, go in there for another one. Single arm, bent over row. Great plyometric pressing movement from the ground using a kettlebell. So this is a kettlebell offset push-up. What we're looking for here is just your standard issue push-up. We're now elevating one of our hands, increasing that range of motion, adding in a little bit of a plyometric aspect to things. So as we descend, same idea, we want our shoulders retracted. We don't want to roll forward in our shoulders. Increase that range of motion, big, nice depth. And as we press, as we explode, we want to get a little bit of air between our hands and the ground. So really press hard, get up there, hold it for a 1 count. As far as the feet, go a little bit wider, because as we go up, we're going to be on 3 limbs as opposed to 4, so we're going to be a little bit more unstable. Asking our core to stabilize as we go up into that press. So press, squeeze our glutes, straight line from the heels all the way up to the head. Big press. 1 count, really get that chest involved, get that great range of motion. This is a single arm kettlebell offset push-up. Great core movement, minus the crunches. So we're standing up, we are doing an around the world into a gunslinger. So we're gonna break down the around the world first, then we'll throw in the gunslinger. So around the world, we're gonna begin with a kettlebell offset, because we're trying to go for a cyclical kind of manner with this one. So for offset, we can just drag it directly into that initial rep. So if we're going to our right side, maybe, let's start the kettlebell off on our left side. Grab by the horns, right hand be on more the right side of the horns, because because when we do that transition, now your left hand wants that free space back there, right? Using our core, generating force, coming around, switch hands, and that's your typical around the world. Going around there, we want to be as straight as we can, so nice neutral spine, acting as a pillar, so we're resisting that force as the kettlebell goes around. Throwing in the Gunslinger now, if you've ever seen those old Western movies, you know, the quick draw, that's what we're looking for. So as it gets around the body, when it comes back to the front, we're now getting the biceps involved, getting a little bit of a pull going on, sling that gun up there, sling the kettlebell, and then we're gonna catch it up on our right side. And then you can use the momentum, press it back there, do another rotation, up into that clean. What we are not looking for is to be a big teeter-totter as we go back and forth. We wanna stay as neutral as we can, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your core, getting the biceps involved, traps, all that fun stuff. There's a full body movement, don't look like much, you're gonna be feeling it. You'll feel the tension kind of be reactive in your core. So really fight that force and then assist in the force as we begin again. Gunslinger, around the world. I would say most hated exercise in the world. We're going over a burpee today. This is a full body movement, commonly seen in Tabatas and AMRAPs, very popular in CrossFit, sport activities. The burpee is just, it's good. It's a high metabolic output, gets a good squat pattern, opens up the hips. We got some pressing if your fitness level allows for the push up at the bottom half. Some jumping, definitely the cardio is through the roof with this one. We're gonna go down, touch the ground, hop back. So to straighten out the legs from there. If your fitness level doesn't allow for you to jump, you can do a step, you can do a step. If your fitness level allows you to go down into the press, like what I mentioned earlier, we're just doing a strict push-up. Then we can jump back together, step back together, or whatever works for you. And then we're just gonna do a little hop, clap up overhead. You can do a jumping jack, but that would be the entirety of a burpee. I don't know why the little hop on the top, but I don't make the rules. I just do the burpee. Find something that works for you within that realm of criteria. You can do the steps, you can do the jumps, you can do a push-up, or you can just, you know, extend the legs, bring them back in, jump back up. Those are all some options, and those are totally acceptable if you were to ever enter in a worldwide competition where burpees are counted. Pick something that works for you, implement them into your training. Great for metabolic output. Definitely get that cardio increased, hitting just about all your muscle groups. This is a burpee.